Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be solving LeetCode 49, group anagrams. So we're given an array of strings. We need to group the anagrams together, and we can return the answer in any order. And here they define an anagram as being a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. So, how can we solve this? Well, we know we solved an anagram problem on the channel before, and how we solved that was just counting the number of characters in both strings. If all of the counts matched, right, we could return true because that means they were anagrams of one another. So how can we use that knowledge to solve this problem? Well, we can do the same thing. We're going to have a mapping dictionary set up. And inside this dictionary, the keys are going to be the count representation of each word. But we can't just say, we can't just have something like this, right? There's one E, there's one A, and one T, right? Because if all of these words are 3, then we're just going to have a bunch of tuples with 3 ones in it. So how do we represent the letters of the alphabet and their counts? That's what we have to figure out for the keys. And for the values of this dictionary, they are going to be lists which contain all of the strings that map to that alphabetical, numerical representation of the word, right? So let's set this up to be a default dictionary with the values as a list type. So we are going to loop through every string in our given input. When we run into every string, we need to calculate the key, right? That key is going to initially be set to a bunch of zeros. How many zeros? 26, right? 1 for every letter in the alphabet. Now we need to loop through every character in our string, right, in the current string we're at. So we'll say for char in string. How do we get the count of this character, right? How do we get it inside of this key? Well, we can just say key of, we will take the ASCII value of E minus the ASCII value of A. So whatever character we're at, we're just going to take the ASCII value of that and subtract the ASCII value of A from it. That will give us the position that count value needs to go in our key array. So we'll say key of the order char minus order of A. We will say plus equals 1, right? Now, what do we need to do next? We need to take that current word or string that we are at, and then we need to add it to the mapping of this key value. So we can just say mapping of key dot append the current string we're at. Now, we can't have a list object as a key inside of a dictionary. So what can we do? We can turn it into a tuple. And we can do that by just saying tuple of key. Right? That fixes our problem. And then once we exit this while loop, what can we do? We can just return the mapping.values, right? So let's run this. Cannot import default dict. Did I spell something wrong? I did. So let's fix that real quick and rerun. Perfect. So we do get all of the correct outputs here in our test cases. So we'll submit this. Perfect. And it does run. So time and space complexity for this. The time complexity is going to be O of n, where n is the length of our given input list. times m, right, where m is the average length of the string that we are at inside of our character array, right? Now the space complexity is going to depend on the length of our mapping. So we can just say O of mapping.length. And that'll do it for LeetCode 49.